Shalom, family. It's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me in Unsectarian Wisdom as usual. I'm a healthy, wise, strong, protected, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. All right, family, look, it's been a minute as usual. I'm going through my motions, taking care of what I need to take care of for my life and my mental and spiritual well-being. So I'm going to have to ask you to forgive me for truly being MIA and not putting too much work in the channel as of late. But I want to speak on something, family. I want to speak on a conversation I had not too long ago with two close acquaintances of mine. I appreciate them very much. The conversation was centered around the belief that happiness and joy are two separate things. And this is important for me to bring up because I believe this has to do with a lot of us in our walk. And we're seeking something out and we're searching. But as usual, because of the world, we get things backwards. You know, there's a lack of understanding and there's confusion. And family, there is no difference between happiness and joy. They're the same thing, just two different words for the same thing. It's happiness and joy, family, on a physical level is chemicals in your mind. I mean, not chemicals in your mind, but chemicals that come from your brain, right? To give you a certain feeling. It's a chemical reaction within your body. And I say it's a spiritual thing as well. But essentially, it is a feeling you get from certain interactions within your life, within your environment that cause these endorphins to shoot off and give you this feeling. These emotions, family, these happiness, this joy is essentially a drug. It's something you become addicted to. It's a feeling. But as with most drugs, right? What happens over time? For instance, like take someone who does coke. If they do coke, just a little bit at first is enough to get them that high. But after a while, they have to keep doing more and more and more to maintain that high. Because after a while, their body becomes numb to that feeling. It's no longer really sensitive to it because you felt it before. And what we have to understand is, family, that feeling cannot last forever. This joy, this happiness, this euphoria cannot last forever. And if it did, it would cease to be the joy and euphoria that you think it is or believe it to be. It would cease to be that because after a while, your body, your senses will become used to it. It would no longer be what it was in the beginning. What you have to understand, family, is the true joy of the Creator is not a feeling, because you have to understand where you come from. The true joy or happiness of the Creator is peace and understanding. You have to understand where you come from, family. You're truly an eternal spiritual being, and you come from the ether. You come from a spiritual realm. You are the all. You are the one. And in your natural state, family, you know everything. There's no question about anything. You have everything you need, everything you want. You know everything. So there's no feelings about anything. There's nothing to react to when you are in the source of one, because there's no lack. There's no want. There's no need. There's no one to hurt you. There's no one for you to hurt. There's no starving. There's no hunger. There's no desire. You don't need nothing because you are everything. So there is no feeling, right? For instance, people fear what they don't know, what they don't understand. So when you are in the known, in the know of everything, and you understand everything in your true form, which is spirit, there's no need for you to be scared. There's no need for you to want or desire. No rush to go anywhere because you understand that there's nowhere to go. So the true joy of the Most High Creator, family, I hope y'all following me, is understanding and peace. Because when you understand who you are, what you are, and the purpose of everything we're going through, that brings peace, family. It brings calm. Matter of fact, that book, the Kabbalion, speaks about this. It speaks about coming to a place of not really being happy or that feeling, but not really being sad either. It talks about everything is on a polarity. Everything has opposite poles, right? For instance, cold and heat are both on the same spectrum. Like, have you ever heard of ice being so cold that it burns you? Or love and hate being on the same spectrum, that you hate something so much, but the only reason you really hate it is because you actually so-called love it or obsessed with it. You only hate what you cannot have, or because you truly want it, or you hate something because you giving it all your emotions and it doesn't give you the same in return. So what the Kabbalion explains is you want to be in the middle. You don't want to be all the way, you don't want to be angry, you don't want to be too happy, because it's like a swinging pendulum. When you're too angry, eventually, it'll swing back, you'll be really happy. Now, when you're really happy, eventually it's going to go back to being really angry. It's like a pendulum, right? It's got momentum. But what you want to work on and practice on is being in the middle, which is just being content, which is being accepting. And that's the message I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying, fam. There is no difference between happiness and joy. And the truth is, once you get back to your true self, there is no emotion in it. That true joy, when you get back to your true self, that joy is not a feeling. It's a state of being. It's a state of mind. It's a state of spiritual awareness. There's no feeling in it. Once you go back to source, once you go back to being who you truly are, there are no feelings, because there's no need for it. It's just understanding and peace. Because when you understand things, you don't trip about it. You don't worry about it, because you accept it for what it is and know what its purpose is. So with that true understanding from the Most High comes peace. So this is why we must continue to pray, to fast, repent, repeat, meditate, but more importantly, read, study, seek wisdom from the Creator. Ask for it to be given to us, and be willing to accept it for what it is, and walk through the trials that come with finding this wisdom, so you can get understanding. Because once again, family, once you go back to source, there is no feeling. There is no, feeling this. No. Because you already understand everything. It's almost like, the difference, like when you go somewhere with someone. Let's say, for instance, you go, just to give an example. Let's say when you were younger, right? And you went to a theme park or someplace fun. And at first, it was the most exciting thing ever, right? Heart beating fast, joy, 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 right? But then after about the 10th, 20th time you've been to this theme park, it's not fun anymore. It just doesn't really affect you anymore. You kind of like, I've been here so many times. It is what it is. But now, let's say you take someone else, and this is their first time. Although it's not your first time, it's their first time. And how do they act? They're excited. They're having fun because they've never done that before. They've never been there. But because you already understand what's going on, because you've already been through it so many times, you're at peace with it. So it just doesn't affect you. You already know what it is. And that's what I'm saying, is that is what source is, family. That's what it will be when you go back home. It's just peace. Peace and tranquility. The happiness or the joy that you think you're going to experience in heaven, family, is truly just understanding, and understanding brings peace. The peace that you don't have to worry about nothing no more. The peace that everything that you thought was real, everything you thought could hurt you, wasn't real in the first place, and it couldn't hurt you. It was just you going through it's just you going through this matrix to learn. We are here to learn, family. The purpose of life is to experience. That's the purpose, is to experience. Because other than that, we would just be sitting in the ether, just existing. So life is about experiencing. And we're not going to get into the whole right and wrong, and that means, you could do what you want. That's not what I'm saying. But I just want y'all to get this little understanding of this, family. True joy or happiness in a spiritual sense, when you go home, family, is truly just understanding. And when you understand, that brings peace, because it brings acceptance. So I just want to say that, family. Shalom. I'm a healthy, wise, strong, protected celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Peace, family.